What is your My Pet is a Dong story? My cat had a thing for climbing into our fake Christmas tree. He would climb up into the branches, and the metal spokes that held them they would break. Finally we got tired of it and put tin foil under the tree skirt. We heard it worked for some people and figured we'd try it. Turns out it did work. The cat refused to step foot into the tree skirt and subsequently climbed the tree. So it did the next best thing. The little bastard climbed the cat tower and poised himself on the top, ready to pounce. We sat and watched from the sofa as he launched himself into the air and landed in the tree. The whole tree fell as one of the legs holding it up snapped. The whole thing came crashing to the ground. The cat crawled out of the wreckage, fur all in a mess, and looked back with a smirk as if to say, "Frick you suckers, I'm getting in that tree." At first I had no idea what the heck a car tower was, and then I realized it was just a type. Ours would climb the tree and knock off the nice ornaments we had on the higher branches. On the few days I get to sleep in, if my cat decides his breakfast is too late, he has learned to wake me up for it. Early on, I apparently learned to sleep through his meows by the bedside. As time went by, I learned to roll over and ignore him when he'd bat at me with his paws. So he's learned to get me up the one way I can't sleep through. He'll take a single claw and drag it very gently over my eyelid. It doesn't hurt at all, but I'm hard pressed to think of a more peculiar feeling. My cat discovered that biting my face is a sure way to wake me up. To be fair, her logic is impeccable. I either wake up and feed her, or I am dead and she can continue chewing. This is how she lost bedroom privileges. My cat decided to climb up a 50-foot tree only to then realize it couldn't get down. Fire brigade got called, ladders were set up, and my dad tried to get him down. Coco then unleashed an unrelenting stream of crap and pee onto my dad as he was climbing the ladder to get him down. It was nature at its finest. This is how stereotypes are created. I had a really goofy Doberman lab cross who once snuck up behind a friend of mine, grabbed his sandwich and took off with her butt low to the ground the way dogs do when they're excited. Lettuce was flying everywhere. She tore down the hallway and reversed direction, returned to the living room and adopted that play pose where she's kind of half laying down. She shook her head back and forth, spraying chunks of sandwich everywhere. Meanwhile, my Cocker Spaniel was hoovering up all the pieces of food. My friend was pee and said, "What a bee." She didn't even want to eat it. I have a rabbit named Commander Bun Bun. I recently moved, so I was unpacking my things. I made the mistake of leaving him out of his cage while I unpacked the stuff for my bedroom. I have a stuffed cat that I've had since I was a kid. It's a little beat up, but it's very sentimental. I took out the stuffed cat from the box and set him on the floor while I put a blanket away in the closet. Apparently Bun decided that the stuffed cat was extremely sexy, and, being the natural horn dog he is, he decided to do the deed. He mounted it, speed humped it for 10 seconds, jizzed all over it, and ripped its head off. I was between laughing and crying for hours. I have the best mental image right now. Help, people are looking at me, help. Being a dong is a lifestyle choice, and my basset hound Ralph holds the trophy. He only wants to play when I'm getting changed. As soon as my clothes come off, he jumps up at my penis, scratches my entire body with his claws, and tries to bite the old Johnson. If he needs to go out rather than just asking, he backs up across the room, then sprints at the door and just slams into it. Dude, I think your dog might be gay. My Siberian Husky has this stuffed animal that he loathes. He's real protective of it. One morning I'm laying down and he comes up to me with his toy. He drops it on my chest, realizes I have it, then proceeds to bite me for being in possession of his precious toy that he gave me. He's in butthole, but I love him to death. And no, he didn't bite hard. My German Shepherd mix had a stuffed rabbit that she loved, but one day she chewed a hole in it, so I put it up in our bedroom closet with the intention of sewing it up once the rabbit was dry. My dog proceeded to sit in front of our closet for hours, looking up at her rabbit and crying. She broke me and I ended up sewing up a wet, slobbery stuffed rabbit. EWW. While struggling to bring in all the groceries in one trip, I left the front door wide open. I thought it would be no big deal because my dog was occupied greeting the rest of the family that had just returned from the store. I set down my burdens in the kitchen, then went to close the door. Standing just on the edge of the doorway, My dog was giving me the biggest crap eating grin a dog is capable of. Don't do it, I plead. Frick you, her eyes seemed to say. Then she took off and I spent the next 15 minutes trying to corral a small manic animal. As an owner of a miniature fox terrier, I know your pain. I was walking my dog with my friend and her younger dog in some woods near my house. Off leash because it wasn't an actual park or anything. My dog sniffs around, picks a spot and proceeds to pee there. All is well. The other dog comes up when my dog wanders and starts peeling directly where my dog did. So my dog turns right the frick around and pees on that dog's head while the other dog was still going. Smart. Now he has land and a slave. We have 2 dogs in our house, a Great Dane, roommate's dog, and a Tibetan Mastiff, my dog. We feed them separately, but my dog will always attempt to eat my roommate's dog's food. I figured I would go ahead and buy him the same food for him. After a week of mixing, I finally gave him a bowl of pure new food. He didn't eat for a week while that was in his bowl. Turns out he's such a spoiled dong, he didn't like the food he was stealing. He just liked to steal to be a dong. My cat loves to go outside and eat the catnip in the garden. He comes in and sits on the chair, watching his dribble fall in a constant stream onto the chair, pool there, and then slowly drip onto the floor. My parents grow catnip and they have a constant stream of cats that come by in the summertime. We usually find the cats passed out in the grass like 20 feet away from the catnip plant. It's pretty funny. I studied abroad for 6 weeks in college. I missed my dog more than anything else during that time. I'd watch videos of soldiers coming home and their pets spazzing out with excitement. Time comes for me to go home. I walk in the door and drop my stuff and throw my arms open, ready for a big furry hug. My dog was laying down on the couch. He lifted his head toward me, gave me a look that said, "Oh, this be a game," then laid back down. Poodles are buttholes. You might want to check to see if your poodle is actually a cat. I have a basset hound that loves to steal your spot on the couch. Get up to get something from the fridge. Dog in your spot. Bathroom break. Dog in your spot. She's starting this new thing where she'll get on your lap, howl until you get up, presumably to get her leash, and then actively flops down and makes herself as big as possible to take your spot. My beagle does this too. She is trying to steal your warm. My aunt rescued a seagull with a broken wing and kept him in a pen in her backyard. He was just a bitter dong all the time, but it's probably because she named him Steven Seagal. Or maybe it's because he was trapped in a pen all the time. You'll be bitter too. One likes to sleep on the radiator until he gets so hot he vomits into the fricking radiator. The other has a pigeon hole for storing dead pigeons and rats. Wankers. My dog has a habit of walking into the nearest occupied room, farting, and then leaving because she can't stand her own gas. Trapped me in the bathroom for 45 minutes by ripping the carpet up in front of the door. The door opened out into the living room. Couldn't get out, so had to call a girlfriend and get her to leave work to release me from my porcelain prison. I tried reaching my hand out the door, had about a 4-inch gap, to try and put the carpet down and flatten it, but the cat thinks that it's a freaking game and rips my hands to shreds, clawing and biting. 45 minutes later I am free to exact vengeance, all the while my girlfriend is in tears of laughter as I'm running round the house squirting a water pistol at the cat, shouting, "How do ya like them apples?" Cat didn't give a crap. I've found that air duster works just as well as a water pistol and it's safe for electronics. Before he was my dog, he was my wife's dog, only living with her roommate and the roommate's dog. My wife and her roommate had just gotten foot-long sub sandwiches with cookies and all the works. They sat down at the coffee table to watch a movie while eating. As the movie opens, my dog, a large chihuahua mix, bites the roommate's yellow lab mix dog hard enough that she was bleeding for no apparent reason. The lab runs away scared and my wife and her roommate have to chase her down and hold her to get her to stop bleeding everywhere. While all of this is going on, my little chihuahua mix steals a foot-long sub and chocolate cookie off the coffee table and eats the whole meal. This dog is the size of a large cat. Wife comes back to missing food and a very sick little dog who had to go to the vet and get his stomach pumped. Butthole. Any cat in the history of ever. Just gonna. Yep, if I can reach. Knocks all your crap off the counter. There we go. You bend over, pick it up and return it to the counter. Your cat looks at you like you're in butthole for the next 7 minutes and just gonna, yep if I can reach. My girlfriend few years back got a son Konya. The main problem was it wanted attention and was smart enough to know if you were really paying attention to it. The secondary problem is that its version of an entertaining time was biting you painfully hard, fingers and ears particularly. The third issue is that it loved to sit on your shoulder, arm, or even head and crap on you. The fourth thing is that my girlfriend pawned it off on me a lot, so I ended up being its primary caretaker. As much as I hated that bird, I think I have a better understanding of Stockholm Syndrome because I loved it too. Son Con, your owner here, can confirm, well, except for the pooping on me part. My bird was well trained to poop before being picked up and then to hold it if he's on a human. The problem occurs if he sees someone he likes more than the person he's currently on. Then he'll happy dance, poop, and chirp to be picked up by the favorite human. My poor husband has had this occur on him a few times. Dog crapped in front of my bedroom door while I was sleeping. When I woke up I could not get out of my bedroom without somehow moving the turds. My dog, turd blocked me into my bedroom. I had rescued a vagrant cat to find out she was pregnant. Okay, I'll take care of you and your kittens and your fleas and your ringworm. Flash forward and the kittens are born. Very cute. 5 of them and all over the place. I go to save one of the kittens that fell behind the desk. She was meowing. The mom cat thought I was hurting her baby, so she jumped up and latched onto my face with both front claws and dug deep into my cheeks. She was simultaneously biting my nose and trying to get to my eyes. I almost broke her neck unlatching her from my face. Oh, the scars. Flash forward a few more months and my beloved dog of 12 years ends up dying because of a reaction to the ringworm he got from that hellcat that didn't show up as usual ringworm on his skin. Good times. My wife is snuggling with our dog and says to her puppy, "You are the best decision I ever made." The dog then lifts her head, turns and stares at me with that smug narrow-eyed look that says, "That's right. Who is the afterthought, you?" I have a few. My cat likes to turn on the lights when I'm having sex. Sticks his paws in guests' mouths when they're visiting in order to wake them up. Happened to my boyfriend's best friend. My brother and my Sil will poop human-sized poops then just not bury it when he feels like his litter box is too dirty. Spoiler alert. He thinks this after every poop. Often when I tell him not to do a thing, like bite a cardboard box, grab pay 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 grab pay, but I still think he's the best cat in the world. He wakes me up by touching his nose to my cheek and staring at my eyes so he can see me wake up. He greets literally every guest with a nose boop. He's social. When we have company, he'll sit in the open seat so he can be a part of the group. And he is always the littlest spoon. I have a million other reasons why he's the best. Wouldn't trade him for the world. I had 2 hamsters. One day I woke up and saw the scene. One of them was stuck between the running wheel and the cage floor, flat crushed, while the other was running on it. That sick bastard. I watched my one hamster eat the other hamster. I was traumatized for a while. I have 3 dogs, and when one of them was a puppy, full grown, but still considered a puppy for his age, he used to wake me up by sitting on my head. My French bulldog likes to wake us up by teabagging us. He stretches out on our heads and rubs his dong all over our faces. My butthole Jack Russell ate €100, left it on the kitchen table for 2 seconds, turned my back and he had jumped up, nabbed it and sprinted out the back with it in his mouth. By the time I realized it was gone he had swallowed it. It's not redeemable as legal tender when it comes out BTW. I checked. Too bad it wasn't a new Canadian bill. Those things are basically indestructible, and since they're basically plastic you could totally get away with washing it off and depositing it in the ATM. My pup comes back in the house after pee, gets a treat, is very excited, wants another treat, proceeds to lift his leg on the back of the ottoman while looking at me excitedly, thinks he is a good boy, actually in butthole. Start giving him the treat outside instead of inside. That way, if he pees again it won't matter. Then he'll start to realize that only peeing outside gets him a treat. My pet rabbit, Ruby. End of story. Ruby is a bee and she's lucky she's so cute. We seem to have come to an understanding for the moment. but here are some of the highlights. Tore apart my blanket, chewed a hole in my pillow, and destroyed one of my favorite pairs of jeans. Peed on my bed while I was sleeping in IT. That fluffy little thing can hold a metric fuck ton of water. Not amused. Frequently sticks her bum outside her litter box when she goes pee. Pristine hardwood floor now in not so good shape. Destroyed the foam mats I put down to protect the floor and give her traction when she hops about. Will only eat one variety of hay, the most expensive and hardest kind to get, of course. Will not play with or chew on any toys. She would rather chip the paint off my bedroom door. Had to put tin foil on the bag of bunny litter to stop her from chewing it open because I had no better place to put it. Had a minor war with Ruby to keep her out from under the bed where the electric cords live. So far, one of the few successful efforts in the battle to keep Ruby from injuring herself. Doesn't like to be picked up and will struggle like the dickens if I can get her without being bitten. She tends to do this when I'm standing up, meaning I have about 0.6 seconds to get a better grip on her before she goes flying over my shoulders. Have since learned better rabbit restraint techniques, but still have trouble with this sometimes. Damn it, rabbit. Are you trying to kill yourself? Finally, there was the great rabbit barrier to keep her away from my shoes. If I had taken a picture I'd show you. It was about 3 feet high and took up half my room. MacJavid out of basically anything I could get hold of that looked vaguely rabbit proof. In the end I had to move my shoes. I will get another rabbit after Ruby. She's a cute little bugger and I'll miss her when she goes. Maybe I'll get 2 next time. Thanksgiving dinner this year. I have a white boxer named Stanley. My girlfriend and I were sneaking off from the big family dinner to do a dirty deed. We knew we only had a brief period to get stuff done. We walk into my house. My parents live across the street. To discover a massacre. Stanley had grabbed a brand new bag of flour off the counter and ran around the house with it. Everything was white. Everything was covered in flour. Not just the kitchen. It seems like he ripped a hole in it and then ran around the house with the bag. The worst part is, he's so stupid that he is completely oblivious to any wrongdoing. He was standing at the door, wagging his little nub, looking quite pleased. I was just blown away by the scope of the destruction. Still banged out though. Boxes are great. Mine named Poppy once brought down our ceiling to floor blinds on the glass door to get a better look at us coming in the garden. Was so happy to see us as well. We got our dog from the dog warden. They just catch them, hold them for a bit. If no one claims them then they have a week to be adopted or they get put down. Shelters often take them to stop that happening. Anyway, they don't have any info about the dogs, and you can't even see them out of the cage until you agree to take one. So anyway, my mam picks this crappy little terrier thing. She's really needy and follows my mam everywhere. But then it turns out she's actually pregnant, so we get puppies. Yay. We rehome 3 and keep 2. Then when they're a few weeks old we let them start going out and about outdoors. One evening the mother and 2 puppies go off and hours later Penny, the mother, comes back without the puppies. She just freaking abandoned her new little puppies because she's a dong. Eventually the puppies turned up and were okay, but I swear she tried to Hansel and Gretel those pups. Casually walking my dog on the beach. Normal day. Leash gets snug. I look back and my dog is bent over on a family's towel. Mind you, they're sitting there with kids, taking a massive crap. So my first instinct is pull my dog away and the crap is halfway out of his butt, so he's like fine. Stops again and kicks sand back at the family. My dog is a dong. I was sitting on my couch playing Mario Kart on the N64 a few years back. It was pretty warm, so I had all the windows and doors open, and my shirt was off. I was also rather drunk. As I'm playing, I feel some liquid running down my chest, almost body temperature. Being drunk, I touch the liquid, then smell my fingers before looking around. It smelled horrid. I look up to see my girlfriend's cat standing on the pool table making hard. "What are you gonna do about it?" eye contact as he was unleashing a stream of butt squirt on my chest. I think it was pee, but it looked like it was coming straight back out of his butt. I got up to assault him, but he scuttled off, and I was unable to catch him in my drunken state. A few days later, we were having a keg party at the house. I went around the corner of the house to take a pee, and the cat wanders up to rub himself on my leg. I pulled my wiener out and returned the favor by giving him a pee-pee shampoo. After that, I felt we were even. A few months later, he ate my pet rat and I kicked him in the butt. Eventually we got over our issues, and I grew to be rather fond on him. That butt liquid you mentioned is used by cats to mark their territory. You belong now to the cat. We have a cat that once peed on a power bar. It sparked, no damage, and somehow popped the fuses. Plus now that room smells like burning cat pee. I was thinking by power bar, you meant a snack, rather than a power strip. It made no sense at first. My dog is the biggest butthole I know. He is a black lab mix. Some examples would be, on Monday he crapped in the backseat of my truck 5 minutes after we stopped for a potty break. He will jump up on the bed, spin in circles, lay on your legs, then 30 seconds later run off. He knows the exact opposite side of the block is the good place to crap, because then he gets a longer walk. This is really fun when it's -20°F. He peed on my brother-in-law while he was sleeping on the couch. He loves the car, but as soon as he gets in, he starts whimpering and complaining. When he gets off leash time, he will come when called, but get 3 feet away and run in the other direction. I woke up this morning and my dog had torn up my new wallet and just my access card for work. Like, she left the cash and cards alone because she knew that would end badly for her, but chewed my access card, so I just had to sit awkwardly by the front door and follow someone in. She knew exactly what she was doing and I am sure she is sitting at home planning her next act of douchebaggery. She just wanted you to stay home and hang for the day. Stayed over at a friend's apartment because they were driving us to the airport very early. Just as we were all packed up and ready to go, their dog pee all over my wife. Your wife now belongs to the dog, claimed. Let me tell you the story of my mum's cat Madge, whom I did not name. She is very petite, almost a kitten despite being fully grown. She's also as black as the blackest night in both hair and nature, as quick as a ninja and damn near unstoppable where chicken is concerned. We had a neighbor with a dog called Barney. Barney did not like Madge. He had good cause to not like her. She went out of her way to annoy him. She has been seen running up and down the dividing fence between our gardens. Barney hates this. He can't reach her, but he can sure see her and will try catch her. The one time he got close earned him a visit to the vet. She was fine. He outweighed her by about 10 times. She was once seen sitting outside their front door. They have fuzzy glass that you can kind of see through. She sat there for about 20 minutes licking herself calmly whilst Barney barked his poor doggy butt off. When Barney finally calmed down and was about to go amuse himself elsewhere in the house, she pressed her little black face up against the glass. This did not please Barney. The neighbor who owned the dog was once walking down a path just round the corner and found an old woman with a Yorkshire Terrier frantically looking left, right and every direction as she walked. My neighbor did not even need to ask. The moment she was within earshot, the old lady asked her if she had seen a little black cat. Turns out the little black cat had without warning performed a guerrilla ambush on the poor Yorkshire Terrier. He had to visit the vet. This happened within 50 meters of our house and the description matched Madge perfectly. For a dainty cat with a pansy name, she punches well above her weight. My mum enjoys making soup. This often involves boiling the carcass of Sunday's roast chicken. Boiling water and a metal container is not enough to stop her. She somehow got the lid off the pot, got the chicken out of the boiling water, it was submerged, and ate it on the kitchen floor. She has stolen food from the fork whilst it was going from plate to mouth. She's a kleptomaniac but gets away with it by being adorable. Dude, if the cat has caused 2 other animals to go to the vet, it needs to not be an outdoor cat. Hope your family paid for the vet bills. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.